we are going to go to another story. We're going to go to this story about to go to now. And then we're going to cover some circus stuff. And then we are going to go to a story about one of the members of Color Me Badd, his daughter. His daughter did an interview with Soft White Underbelly. Her name is called McKenna. And we are going to examine that story. It looks like it was just released. And there is some shocking claims against this situation. So we are going to examine the situation now. But the first story, before we get into circus drama, is going to be about a woman named McKenna, right? McKenna West. There's this whole thing going on about, she's a Texas woman, and she entered into an agreement to be a surrogate for a couple. And as a result, the baby that she was pregnant with, shoot, I'm sorry, guys. The baby she was pregnant with, and this is why I thought that this was interesting to bring to us, because in one of our last lives, we discussed, like, what would you do if you knew ahead of time that you were going to give birth to a baby that had some trouble, right? That had some problems, that wasn't considered what society would say is normal, may have some genetic, congenital issues, heart issues, kidney issues, whatever, and it could impact their life. What would you do? And I know Tez was saying that she thinks that she would have to kind of terminate because she wouldn't want to bring a child in to have to suffer and deal with that type of circumstance, right? And everybody has like their mixed opinions and mixed emotions and feelings about what they would do. But in this particular instance with McKenna is a surrogate. And it was determined by after doing testing. Remember the last time I talked to you about PGT, pre-implementation genetic testing. At some fertility centers, it is standard that they are doing pre-implementation genetic screening on all embryos now. And I am kind of shocked at what ended up happening in this situation. And it could just be a situation where it's like I told you guys before, like they could have done PGS screening, and the science is good, the outcomes are good, but every now and then something slips through the cracks because we're not God. People are not God. Doctors, scientists, the people in the andrology lab, we only can take the products that God has given and try to find a way to help put them together to help people to be able to create families. But at the end of the day, we can't determine, no matter what we do, how things will turn out. And so it is possible that it was PGS or PGD screening done on the embryos. Typically, when you're dealing with a surrogate, a gestational carrier, a sperm donor, anything of that nature, they go through a strict scrutiny for screening, unless it's a known donor. Now, any unknown donor goes through very strict protocol. But known donors are made exceptions sometimes because the couple, the individuals, or whoever it is going through the treatment, they choose that person. And so they may choose them knowing, okay, well, their family has a history of genetic disorders, or their family has a history of some type of whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the protocol is not as strict because people have the right to choose a known donor. But anybody that is an unknown donor, an unknown gestational carrier, an unknown surrogate, they go through a very strict scrutiny, right? So this woman, McKenna, and I'm going to find out more of the details with you guys because I've only briefly heard about the story. I don't know all of the details, so I'm going to be fleshing this out with you. But from what I understand, she was a surrogate. And so, which meaning that she did not provide the egg. What I'm assuming is that wait a minute. If I gotta listen to the story because it could be just titled wrong. People who are telling stories who don't know the jargon in a particular field may be saying it incorrectly. So a surrogate would mean that it was her egg and she was either inseminated or she was either inseminated by artificial insemination, or that her egg and then the sperm of the intended father, right, was used to put it back into her with in vitro fertilization. And so the product of conception would be her egg. Some part of it would be hers. If they are using surrogate in the right way, that's what would have taken place in McKenna's situation. What I have a feeling, though, based off of some of the things that I've seen, is that McKenna is a gestational carrier. A gestational carrier is different than a surrogate, because with the gestational carrier, the egg does not belong to the woman that's the host, right? So a gestational carrier is just a host body, right? And so the egg does not belong to her. They take the egg from an egg donor. They take the sperm from either the intended father or the sperm of someone else, because it can be a situation where both people have issues with fertility, right? So they could take a donor, or the egg could belong to the mother, the intended mother, because you have some women who can produce eggs, good quality eggs. They just cannot carry a pregnancy. But at any rate, the egg, a gestational carrier, is someone that the egg doesn't belong to her, but she's just acting as a host body to carry the baby till its gestation and then deliver the baby. So that's why she's called a gestational carrier. The true meaning of a surrogate means that the egg belongs to the woman who's carrying the baby. So that's the real definition. So while we watch this story in these two clips that I'm going to play, we're going to figure out what's the proper medical terminology to be using for McKenna West. But they have it as surrogate, and they could be right. They could have it right. I just have a feeling, based on some of the brief things that I read over, that she's a gestational carrier. She's not a surrogate, right? So remember what I said. A surrogate is someone who the egg does belong to. She's inseminated with the sperm of whoever the intended father is, and she carries the baby for the couple, whether that couple is a male couple, a male-female couple, whatever, or an individual, or it could be an individual, right? That's what makes a surrogate. The thing that makes a surrogate is that the egg belongs to the woman carrying the baby. But a gestational carrier, the egg does not belong to her. The egg was either a donor egg, or it may be the egg of the intended mother, right? And the mother just may need a carrier for whatever reason. I also want to say something else, because I saw this where Angie was questioning something about the mixing of sperm. That is something that is done in fertility. Now, what cannot happen, a lot of times a male couple, right? It can be mixed. The sperm can be mixed up, right? But it's still only going to be one of them is going to be the father. They don't mix the sperm thinking that both of their sperm is going to produce the baby, right? That's not the purpose of them doing it. The purpose of them mixing the sperm is so that they won't know which one is really the father. That's the purpose. It gives like an element of surprise, so they can feel like each of them had a 50-50 chance at being the dad. So to them, in their mind, psychologically, it makes them feel like more of the parent. I don't know. But yes, you can mix the sperm. The purpose is not, though, so that the baby will belong to both of the men. They're not making any type of genetic combination of the sperm. It's only mixing the sperm up, the sperm of both male partners, in order to see which one swims faster to get to the egg. And then they really don't know which one is the father, right? So that's the purpose. It's a psychological thing. It's not really them thinking that, oh, we're both going to be the dad, because somehow now there have been situations where you have another thing that they'll request to do two male partners. They'll request because they might want to have twins. So if they want to have two kids, what they will attempt to do is inseminate half of the embryos that are of one partner, and then half of the other. Then take like maybe 2 or 3 from each of those buckets and inseminate them back. And then usually, fertility is so interesting. Usually what will happen in that case, if you can't guarantee that it's going to be twins, right? But there are situations where 2 twins are born from both fathers during the same pregnancy. And but they still can't guarantee that the two twins are going to be from each male. Because you can't determine that. Once those embryos get into the body does the rest and it decides what to do. Now, say if for some instance, all 3 or 4 of those embryos take. Now, what they try to do, because so when you look at a situation, I know we're getting way more elaborate about this. When you look at a situation like Octomom did artificial insemination. That's how she got to, I believe it was that's what she did. That's how she got to as many babies as she did, right? Normally in vitro is way more control. You with artificial insemination, when you are given the hormones and having them produce eggs, that can happen because you have no control over how many of those eggs inseminate, right? You're giving them the medication to get the eggs all to maturity. Because most of the time in a month, a woman only produces 1 to 2 mature eggs at that the most. Most of the time it's 1, but sometimes it can be 2, right? But when you're doing artificial insemination, because you're giving them medications to help produce more eggs, then more of them can be fertilized. And as a result, you can end up having a situation like Octomom, right? With IVF is a little more controlled. So they know they take all of the eggs out, inseminate, and then put it back. So then that way that eliminates the natural process of you just having all of these eggs inseminating from the sperm that you inseminate. So if in the event that a woman has more than 2 babies in utero from artificial insemination, a lot of times the physicians discuss with those women about doing selective reduction. They discuss it with artificial insemination too, but they discuss it with IVF even more. So selective reduction is you will reduce the number of babies in utero based on what's least likely to be harmful. So let me explain that and flesh that just a little bit. So say you have, because you have the difference between paternal and identical twins, right? So when you have identical twins, they are share the same sac. So you could place back one egg, but that egg, you could place back one embryo, but that embryo could split and share the same sac. And in that case, you have identical twins, right? So you have paternal and fraternal. And fraternal twins is when this happens, what I said. And paternal, let me double check. Because I can never remember how that goes. Okay, so yeah, fraternal twins are from 2 separate embryos, right? Inseminated, 2 separate eggs, right? But paternal twins are identical. And so they come from one egg that split, 1 egg, 1 sperm. I think it's 1 egg and 1 sperm is the ratio. Or it might be 1 egg and 2 sperm. I can't remember. But at any rate, it's 1 egg and it splits, and so those babies share the same sex. Those twins are identical, right? And so you say you have a set of identical twins, and then you have a fraternal twin in another set because of doing fertility. So that's 3 babies. They would have you eliminate the pregnancy, terminate the pregnancy, where the baby that's in the 1 sac, because the idea in their mind ethically is to do the least harm, but to do what is better for the health of the mother, right? So I think that's the right way. I think that's the right way. I think the right way is they reduce down, they take the baby that's in the 1 sac, they'll take that one out, and then it'll be the 2. and the babies in the two sets, the identical twins, right? So that's typically how it goes. But we're going to listen to this story so that we can figure out what is happening. There is a dispute. The dispute McKenna West is having is that she got pregnant. She had this baby. I mean, she's pregnant with this baby that she has no legal right to it based on a contract, because in most states, there are no fertility laws, right? Everything is based on a contract. And so everything goes through court and goes through the judge because there are no laws that discuss this process, right? So generally what ends up happening is contracts are drawn, and then there's a certain waiting period after the baby is delivered, and then the baby has to go through the adoption process, just like if any other child was adopted. Even though the baby might genetically belong to the parents that are receiving the baby, they still have to go through this adoption because the mother of the child is considered the person who gives birth. And this is the dispute in this situation. This is part of the dispute. So McKenna is pregnant. She's pregnant with a baby that has some type of medical problem, right? And I guess we're going to find out what the medical issue is when we listen. And the parents, the intended parents, so the intended parents are always the receiving parents. They're always the parents who are going to, after the baby is born, take the baby and raise the baby, right? The intended parents wanted McKenna to terminate the pregnancy. Generally, they can ask that because it's an agreement, it's a contract, right? So she's not supposed to technically, based on the contract, have any tie to the fetus, but she legally does have say so over the fetus because she is the host and the baby is in her body, and that gives her certain rights while the baby is in her body. And so what McKenna decided was that she was not going to terminate the pregnancy. And as a result now, because this intended couple wanted McKenna to terminate the pregnancy, I believe how the story goes, McKenna does not want to hand the baby over to them when the baby is born. And so there is a dispute going on right now. And this is why I say I think that McKenna is a gestational carrier and not a surrogate. This is why I'm saying that. It's for this reason, because there is some dispute over whether or not the baby needs to be handed over to the intended parents. And what's making me wonder is, why would there be a dispute if they didn't really even want her to have the baby in the first place because of whatever the medical issue it is? Why wouldn't the couple just say, okay, we're going to just let her keep the baby? The reason why is because the genetic material to that baby belongs to one of those individuals, one of those intended parents, right? And I don't know if it's one or both of them. And so that's what we're going to examine this story to see. So let me pull this up right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's get started. This is the first one we're going to watch. This is a brief one, just kind of giving us an overall of what's going on. And then we're going to watch a TMZ clip because there's been some updates.
See the surrogate being successful and being able to keep this child that's not hers. It's not her biological child. I don't see a world where she has rights to the baby.
A surrogate mother successfully gave birth to a baby boy in Texas on August 12th after refusing a California couple's request that she receive an abortion. McKenna West, an Alaskan nurse, has been in a back and forth legal battle with the baby's biological parents.
Okay, so let me stop right there, okay? Because right there, that tells me enough. So you're talking about two different states. There are laws in Texas. There are laws in California, right? And California has more laws around. They do have some things on the books around surrogacy, right? Because of the nature of their demographic. They do have a lot of couples same gender couples who utilize this more. And so they probably worked and legislated for this type of thing. In Texas, not so much. Most of it is contract because the demographic of Texans and their religious beliefs, right? And what they will push through and what they won't. And so this is a controversial, fertility is a controversial legislative issue. It is not something that is easily discussed because you have issues of morality, issues of religion, all types of things that complicate this conversation. And so right now we have an issue. It's two separate states now. So you have one state that has more protections for surrogates, for gestational carriers, for donor situations. And then you have another state, not as much. It's relying on contract. So that's already a potential conflict because it's also going to look at, okay, now we know we might have a contract that was drawn up in California, but the woman who's going to deliver the baby resides in Texas. And if she gives birth in Texas, that complicates and creates a situation, right? That's a real dispute that more than likely is going to end up having to be litigated by some higher court at some point. But another thing that this, right in the very beginning of this, that it let me know, the products of conception belong to this couple. The egg belongs to the intended mom. The sperm belongs to the intended dad. That's the couple, right? This person, this lawyer here, or this commentator, she confirmed that right in the beginning, right? So this McKenna is not a true surrogate. A surrogate is someone who the egg belongs to them, and then they are inseminated with sperm of the intended father. This is routinely. Sometimes it can be donor sperm because if the father has a fertility issue, but a lot of times it's the sperm of the intended father, and then they carry the baby to delivery and then give the baby to the intended couple. But in this situation, this woman is saying that McKenna, the products of conception, which is the egg and the sperm, that it belongs to the couple. So that says to me, somebody who knows the language, who's familiar with the landscape of fertility, McKenna is a gestational carrier. She's not a surrogate. Okay.
Who requested she terminate the pregnancy after finding out at 20 weeks that the fetus was diagnosed with a severe but treatable heart condition called hypoplastic left heart syndrome, or HLHS. Instead, West, a single mom of two, traveled to Texas to give birth and now faces a legal maze.
See? You see what I'm saying? I say it's going to be a dispute because if she had delivered in California, then the contract, the agreement between her and the parents is a binding agreement. There are certain things that California will uphold, but because she went to Texas, where it's a whole nother set of rules behind surrogacy contracts, this is where she's able to get a loophole and get around.
Here's what expert Marla Neufeld has to say about what comes next in the explosive case.
My name is Marla Neufeld. I'm a reproductive attorney based in Florida. And while I practice reproductive law professionally, I'm also a former intended parent who had twin boys via surrogacy. So a surrogacy agreement does typically have provisions regarding abortion and selective reduction. The parties are supposed to undergo a mental health evaluation.
Okay, you see what I just told you? Abortion, selective reduction, right? We talked about selective reduction in the sense of if too many eggs fertilize, and then therefore it creates a situation where it's a multiple potential pregnancy. That's what we talked about it in, but they sign these things for this reason because these things can happen. And then when she's telling you about like the psyche eval, when I say that there is very strict scrutiny of an unknown donor, an unknown gestational carrier, an unknown surrogate, this is what I mean by that. Now, even if you have a known surrogate or gestational carrier, they still have to go through those psychological assessments, right? But the medical portion of it, like the genetic, going through the genetics things and screenings and stuff, might be a little bit more lax because people have a right to choose somebody they know versus using someone they don't, right? Some people want to use their sister, some people want to use a cousin, you know, there's been situations where people that use their mama, so people have a right to do that. So it's not as strict. But when the donor, the gestational carrier, the surrogate is unknown, those psych evals are very important. And so is the screening, the genetic screening, the infectious disease, all of that stuff. It's important, and it will eliminate them from being a donor, a gestational carrier, or a surrogate. Whereas in a known situation, it might not eliminate them as long as the couple is okay with whatever the outcome, the findings are, right? So let's continue.
And where they're supposed to specifically talk about abortion and reduction and make sure the parties are aligned. And typically that mental health counseling is the surrogate does a session, the parents do a session, and there's a joint session. A well-handled match should discuss this at length so that we don't have situations, to the best of we can, like this, where the parents may not have wanted to continue the pregnancy and she was not open to abortion, which no judgment if someone's not open to abortion, but like the parties need to be aligned on that. Regardless of what the contract says, and what I counsel my clients on as well, is what the contract says might not necessarily be what the court is going to enforce. Because
let me stop there. See what I just told you? It might not be what the court is going to enforce, because since there's no law behind this, there are some other laws that are more important, some other rights that are more important than the contract that these people agree to, right? So women's rights, a mother's rights, all of those things will sometimes supersede these contracts that these people enter into, because there is no law in most states about surrogacy, about donor sperm, donor egg, about gestational carrier. And so you have a contract that, yes, these individuals signed at the time of the agreement, but if there are some rights that are exclusive to parents and mothers that supersede that contract, it can create a very messy situation.
There's always an underlying concept that the surrogate has the sole source of consent with respect to her body. So it's really unclear, given the very, very limited case law in the United States, whether, one, a parent could ever compel a surrogate to do or not do, and perform the abortion, which they likely cannot.
Okay, so I want to stop. I am really shocked that this attorney is using the term surrogate. That's why I know she said that the products belong to both of the parents, but I'm going to wait and see on TMZ if they give some more insight to that, because she should know, or maybe she's just using surrogate as a lay term because she knows most people are not going to be able to differentiate and know the difference. But most attorneys that deal with surrogacy, that deal with this type of law, surrogate gestational donor law like this, they know the right language. Maybe she's only using that for, like I said, maybe she thinks it's easier for lay people to understand. I don't know.
There's no judge that's going to make her have an abortion.
Yeah.
But then there's the second issue of, can they sue her if she goes against what she said in the contract? And that's also very murky and unclear how that will play out.
At least for now, the biological parents of this baby boy have physical custody of him. It also is contradictory to that last-minute petition filed by the Texas AG that was reportedly approved on Tuesday to stop the baby from being taken out of state. What do you think is going on?
Just from reading what's public information.
Okay, so what we are learning is that the intended parents, the biological parents, and that's what I'm saying. So I do think that she's a gestational carrier, but I can understand why, like I said, maybe for lay purposes, she just used surrogacy to keep people from being more confused behind the situation. But the Texas, it's been determined that even though the parents, the biological parents, do have custody of the child right now, the parents are prevented from taking the child out of Texas because there is a current legal matter, which means that now they have to stay in Texas with the child in order to keep the child.
I don't see any reason why these biological parents wouldn't still be the legal parents of this child. Whether or not they could have stopped her from having an abortion or not having the abortion, that's a totally separate issue from their parental rights. My understanding is there's likely a parentage order, which is a court order confirming that the parents are the legal parents of the child.
Do you think there's a world in which McKenna West will ever be granted custody of this child?
This is always an evolving area of law, but I do not think that she will ever get parental rights to this child. She is not the biological parent of the child. And under the states that are at play between Alaska, California, and Texas, I'm not aware of anything in their surrogacy provisions that would give her access to the child. I mean, there was a case many years ago called the Baby M case where the surrogate tried to assert rights to the child, but that's very, very distinctive from this case. That was the surrogate's biological child. That's called tradition.
Yes. So she's a gestational carrier. Yes, and now because I was thinking about that with the Baby M case. So McKenna, I might have been saying, I thought it was saying McKenna, but McKenna, she is the gestational carrier. So products of conception belong to the intended parents. And in this case, because when you're thinking about, like I said, it gets really tricky and murky because so the mother has the right to the child while the baby is in utero, right? The gestational carrier. Once the baby comes out, the thing that makes it murky is that the baby biologically belongs to the mom and the dad. And so when you think about family court and you think about laws with DNA testing, who has rights to a child, there has to be biological link. And so that would override then her once delivering the baby. Once the baby is delivered, the baby is out of her is the host. Then now the family court, what the family court laws are surrounding individuals who are not genetically linked to the child having a right to the child, that takes in effect. All of that will come into effect because now the baby has been born. Right. And so, and the baby is born presenting different biology. Now, in the Baby M case, the surrogate, the host, was also the person who the egg belonged to. So the baby was genetically hers. So that put the dispute between the mom and the dad, the surrogate and then the intended father. They had the dispute. The intended mother didn't have anything to do with the situation because she didn't provide any of the material that made the baby or carry the baby. So this is what gave that surrogate a lot more rights. But the thing that could intervene with McKenna getting any rights to this baby is that the material didn't belong to her. It belonged to the intended parents. So once the baby is outside of her body, she no longer has any control over it because once they would do a DNA test according to law on establishing paternity and maternity, it would come back that it was the baby of these individuals.
Surrogacy. And even as of now, the court, my understanding is has almost like a restraining order against her. Like she has no access to the child as of now, from what I'm seeing reported, which I think is the right thing. Like she's not the parent. I don't see how she could be.
Do you think?
Now I want to stop right there. Listen, y'all, we might have to come back later and do the Color Me Bad review, right? Because I want us to get through the circus stuff too. But this is getting more formed than what I thought. I thought we were just going to go over this really quickly, but this is interesting. So with this situation, so we talked about the psychological assessments, right? This is where it could be a loophole. I don't know if the attorney is about to say something about this, but this is where a loophole can be created, right? Because based on their desire to want her to terminate the pregnancy, there may be a way that a lawyer could argue on behalf of McKenna that she would have never agreed to this contract if she would have some way known that they were not going to want to take care of a baby that had a medical issue. And if she can try to present that them wanting to terminate the pregnancy some kind of way will impact their care of the child, this is where it could create some trouble. It's more than likely not going to work because the products of conceptions didn't belong to her. But in situations where this does happen, though, this is where those psychological assessments do come into play. There was another situation where something wasn't divulged to a gestational carrier about the psychological evaluation of an intended mother. And so when the gestational carrier decided she wanted to keep the kids, her attorney was able to use that information in order to keep the custody with the gestational parent, gestational carrier, until the courts could make a decision. And the crazy thing is that the intended father, because it was his sperm that contributed to those children, he was required to pay child support. Now, I can go back later and look and see like what was the outcome of that, because I don't remember what was the whole outcome. But based off my understanding, she was that couple, that gestational carrier still had those kids. And that one was on Dr. Phil. Those parents went to Dr. Phil with that story. But this is very interesting.
I think in your expert legal opinion that this could run on for a very long time, or I mean, is there a world in which this goes to the Supreme Court?
There's so little reported case law about disputed surrogacy cases.
Yep.
Many times, if there is a dispute, they're handled privately. Many surrogacy contracts actually have provisions in them that ask the parties to keep any contentious issues out of the news and spotlight. So a lot of the facts that are being shared here is actually quite surprising, because many of these matters are very private. The dockets are typically sealed. I think a lot of the next steps really pertain to the health and safety of the child, and how the baby is going to be doing and what medical care the baby is going to need, and ensuring that the parents, as they should, have a say in the continued care of the child, and how that contrasts to what the Attorney General is now intervening and, requiring the hospital to provide certain life-sustaining treatments. So kind of balancing the state versus the parents.
Okay. And that's because physicians have a Hippocratic oath in order to try to save life. And so the parents, from my understanding, the intended parents didn't want any life-saving measures to be for this child in the event that something was to occur. But I think that McKenna did want that. And because doctors have an oath to that, they were bound to do that. And so that is part of some of this dispute as well. So let's go to the next TMZ clip, because there was an update from when the original story was released about this. Okay.
Welcome to TMZ Live. Charles is off for a couple of days. There is a fascinating case, and it is going on really in 3 states right now, but it involves a woman who became a surrogate to 2 biological parents, and her name is McKenna. She lives in Alaska. The biological parents, are from California. 20 weeks into McKenna's pregnancy, they did an ultrasound and discovered that there was a severe defect in the fetus, and it involved the heart, and it would require at least 3 surgeries to correct. It's unclear if that was any kind of a guarantee, whether there would be lingering problems. The parents, apparently, the biological parents, wanted to terminate the pregnancy, and the contract said that they had a right to do so. So McKenna, from Alaska, then flew to Texas, where that clause would not be enforceable because of the various abortion laws. And so she was in Texas as a safe haven to give birth. And she has done so. The baby was actually due September 2nd, but she has had the baby prematurely, apparently. And the baby is in the hospital, apparently still in need of significant care. And now there's an issue of custody. And the biological parents, we found out, have gone to court and they have asked for a temporary restraining order, essentially keeping McKenna, the surrogate, away from the baby, and that they would have custody of the baby because they have an agreement saying once McKenna gave birth, they got the baby, the boy. And the judge decided that, at least on its face, the biological parents' argument made sense, and the judge issued this temporary restraining order, effectively giving the biological parents custody of this child. And that's really significant because they're going to have to make some major medical decisions almost immediately.
And so this is where it could get murky if she decides to push the envelope, because especially being in Texas, like I said, the life-saving measures is an issue. The fact that the child has to have surgeries that the parents need to give consent to. If she's able to get some kind of legal counsel that can make it seem as though that these parents are, this is some type of child endangerment, some type of child neglect situation, this could complicate the situation. And I'm wondering even how this will come out, because since she has no biological link to the child, then would the child end up in some type of custody of the government? If she, I guess my question it would be like how this could turn out, because it could end up, if she pushes the envelope, that the judge could still determine, listen, we're not going to give the child to you either because you don't have any genetic links to this child. There are other people in this child's family that potentially might want to take care of the child. Because this would be like a similar situation like CPS getting involved, right? It would be similar to that. Like I said, that now we are in the realm of family court, right? Look, exploring what happens in family court. And so, and as they told you, there's no case law. There's not much case law surrounding these issues of surrogacy and fertility. And so as a result, once the baby is born, they defer to family court, like what laws around family situations. And so CPS, what would end up happening is if there's an attorney, if the child is appointed a guardian ad litem, if the gestational carrier gets an attorney, and in some kind of way they make it seem as though that these parents are dangerous to the child because they are not willing to move forward with reasonable life-saving measures that would be in the best interest of the child. Right now, while they have requested a restraining order on McKenna, a restraining order can be requested on them. And they kept from the child. So this is a very interesting case.
And now it's a temporary order. These are generally good for around 10 days. And then what a judge does is sets it for a more formal hearing where you can have witnesses, where the judge can consider everything before coming up with a permanent decision. But this now is a case involving a contract, 3 different states, and a really contentious fight.
And you also have the statement that we got from the lawyers of the biological parents this morning, where they confirmed she had the baby yesterday, it was in their care. The other interesting aspect here in their statement is they're talking about how this has become almost a political theater, because the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, had gotten involved, saying that he wanted 2 Texas hospitals in Dallas to basically provide life-threatening care to the baby.
Life-saving
care. Yeah.
The attorney for the biological parents is saying they feel like there's too much politics now involved. They just want to spend time with their child.
Now that's the murky part. They want to spend time with their child. I get it. What about the care? Because this child was born with a defective heart.
Right.
And it's going to require surgeries. And, you know, these parents, and I'm not saying they're going to do anything untoward, but they wanted to terminate the pregnancy.
Right.
And they were unable to do so. So now the issue is they're in control of.
Harvey is thinking the same way I am. And so there are some loopholes here that could pose problems about custody issues, because if it can look like that their decisions are threatening the welfare of the child, then the same restraining order that they are asking to be placed on McKenna, they can then, the hospital can then request one on them. It would be similar to, somewhat similar to what we saw in that case with the case for Kayla. I think that's what it was called. The case for Kayla, where the mother had took her to Mexico to get this ketamine treatments, and then because for a chronic pain issue, EDS, I think she probably had EDS, but they called it something else. But and then the mother was a nurse also, so she knew about these things. And then because the mother was requesting things that the hospital felt like was endangering the child, they called CPS in and had a restraining order placed on the mother, that the mother couldn't even come to the hospital. And so while these parents are enacting that legal remedy for what is going on in this issue, this dispute that they're having with the surrogate, they could end up being the subjects of the same type of reaction, right? They can be the subject of the same thing. If the hospital deems their decisions to be volatile towards the child, or if the courts, because they've gone into court with this now, or if some other legal person in a legal capacity brings it up, meaning an attorney for McKenna or a guardian ad litem that might be appointed to the child.
Of medical decisions for the child. And it would seem that what the Attorney General of Texas is saying is, we want to make sure that they're not taking their foot off the gas when it comes to medical decisions.
Yes.
And if they are, we're going to step in to protect the child. I mean, that's what it feels like.
And that's what's interesting about McKenna going to Texas to have the baby, because in Texas, according to law, even with the surrogacy agreement, whoever the surrogate is the guardian.
The mother, whoever delivers the baby is the mother. And that's the thing. Whoever delivers the baby is the mother.
But because the parents are from California, the surrogate's from Alaska, the agreement was made in California, it gets a little confusing. And I think that's why the biological parents were quick to get that restraining order.
So it would seem that California law would apply. There's a surrogacy agreement in place. But I will get back to this point, is that I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but I would think that decisions have to be made. Doctors go to the parents and they say, here are the risks, here are the benefits. Do you want this, whether this means surgery or medication or what? And now you would think that the Attorney General is looking, are they being aggressive enough to protect the child?
Correct.
Now, I don't know what the parents are thinking or doing. I'm assuming since the baby was born and they wanted a baby, they're going to try to save the baby.
Of course.
But that seems to be the dogfight going on right now, beyond just the surrogate. Now, what kind of care is the baby going to get? For example, what if the doctors say that, and again, I'm just guessing here, that the Mayo Clinic has specialists in Minnesota, specialists that could perform this surgery in the most effective way, and we should move the baby from Texas to the Mayo Clinic. And then what if the parents disagree with the way the Attorney General views it? Is the Attorney General going to step in, try to superimpose his judgment?
But can he? Can the Attorney General?
This is such an unusual case.
I was going to say, I mean, we don't cover these every day, but.
So It's possible that the attorney general, I think, can step in. It's possible that the hospital can step in. It's possible that they can step in together. Like I said, it is a situation where if at any point in this child's care that they feel as though that the parents are not moving within the best interest of the child medically, then they can intervene. And what it would be a call in to CPS. CPS would do the risk assessments. They would determine what would happen. All of that would be mitigated in court, in family court. And it could end up, like I said, being a situation where these parents, these biological parents, could end up in the same situation that they're trying to impose on the gestational carrier.
But like the thought that these people just wanted to have a baby and there's now a restraining order involved and the baby came early and it's got medical needs that needs to be taken care of. I have never seen anything like this.
Well,
Harvey,
our chat right now is kind of debating between themselves about if the parents never wanted the baby initially, shouldn't the surrogate mother be able to make these medical decisions since it is so timely and life-threatening to the baby?
See, I don't think you can fairly say that because the parents wanted to terminate the pregnancy, that they're not going to care for the baby once the baby is born.
Right.
I don't think the two necessarily connect, and that I think it's a pretty harsh judgment that the parents.
I do agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. But we've seen stranger.
Parents were, you could argue the parents were being compassionate, when they saw the ultrasound. But now that the baby's born, it's not that they're gonna. I think it's kind of harsh to put that on the parents.
And it was a legal agreement. Like, that's the surrogacy agreement, is if the parents decide, hey, we want you to terminate the child, the surrogate then has to. She's required to terminate the child.
But no, she's not. And listen, that's the thing. Just like they're saying, but it was a legal agreement. A lot of times, and if you're using, and most attorneys that deal with this type of law, I know they are very good about explaining this stuff to their clients. Even though you have this contract, there are still things that can terminate this contract because there is no law. There is no law. And then family law ends up overriding and superseding some of what might be the terms of the contract. This is a really murky situation. The contract does not entitle her. The contract does not mean that she has to operate inside of the contract. It is a risk that intended parents take. That they put all of this money into this situation knowing that at the end, it's possible they could walk away with no baby. This is a risk that they take, really. Because since there are no laws legislating this, then it's going to continue to be a case-by-case situation until there are laws that govern this type of thing.
So,
but not if she goes to Texas.
Well, of course.
Because in Texas, they're not going to enforce that provision. And that's exactly what she did.
Yeah.
So she's had the baby. Everything is now reset. Now the question, what do the parents want to do? Assuming the parents get custody.
Right.
What do they do? What if they say, we want to move the baby back to California, and Ken Paxton, the attorney general, says, no, we want the baby to stay in Texas because they wanted the baby aborted and we don't trust the parents.
That would be wild.
Well, I mean, our chat was also wondering, since there is this they said that if in the contract, wouldn't there be something to state that if you go to a different state, that there is something to figure out in the legal agreement between the parenting?
No.
Well, whatever they say, if they have a provision that Texas law would not recognize.
They can't restrict a movement of a human being. So the contracts it's a lot of good faith in these contracts. These contracts are really made on good faith, like I said, which makes them flimsy. On both sides. Like, think about if the intended parents decided they didn't want to take the baby. Then the surrogate or gestational carrier it's in a dilemma on what happens with this baby. Right? So these contracts are very like good faith. They move on good faith. And that's what makes them so flimsy.
Even if it was included in the initial contract?
The agreement's going to fail, because that's exactly what happened, that she moved to Texas and therefore she had the child. But again, now the issue is, A, is the surrogacy agreement going to be honored, giving the biological parents custody of the child? B, does the Attorney General have any legal standing to say, we have a dog in this fight and that we want to make sure that the child is handled a certain way medically? Or is that the province of the parents? C, what if the parents want to move the child outside of Texas, say back to California? D, what if the doctors recommend something that, is risky, and the parents see it one way and Ken Paxton sees it another way? So this is not over. And there are some novel issues here. But the real point here is that you've got a child that needs medical care. And this can't be something that drags on in a court of law while nothing happens with the child, because the child needs care. And that care can't wait for the legal system to run its course with a complicated legal, and I would argue political case.
For sure.
And so now I have never seen anything quite like this.
Jay from Houston, Texas. And historically, thinking of medical cases that do end up having a lot of political undertone to it, they do get messy, they do get sticky, they do get murky. I think this is just a downside to the baby ultimately, because now the whole world, America, has, a say-so in who should raise this baby, where this baby should go. It's gotten too political too fast. And like you said, we can't wait until the court system handles it to figure out how this baby is going to be taken care of, because this is something that needs to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, that's for sure. It has to happen now. I mean, there are medical issues that cannot wait for judges and hearings and trials.
Okay, you guys. So that is the end of that. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on that and bringing that back, those updates to us as well. Hopefully the intended parents, the biological parents, will do the right thing and say, okay, we did want her to terminate because we didn't want to bring a child into the world to deal with these type of issues. But now that he's here, we have every good intention to care for our child, because it is their biological child. And so we have every intention to care for our child, and hopefully that will help to resolve it quickly. Hope it will be convincing enough for all of those people who intervene. But I do see the importance of why some of these people intervened, given the situation now that the child has been born. I mean, do I think that the surrogate, the gestational carrier, should have upheld her part of the contract? Probably so. I mean, because it was an agreement, but some people can ethically look at it and say, and then when I say ethically, I'm not talking about with like ethics with the legal realm, but the surrogate, the gestational carrier, shouldn't have entered a contract agreeing to terminate a pregnancy, right? If she knew that was something that she was morally, ethically not going to be able to do, she should not have entered that. But because this is an issue that shocks the conscience, she ethically does have a right to have a change of heart when it comes to that. And so I don't know. This is a messy situation. So we're going to continue to follow this and see what happens with McKenna West and poor little baby. Hopefully the baby gets what they need, and these life-saving surgeries that seem like that it will allow the baby to live a good quality of life. And they say there's supposed to be 3 of them. They said that this is something that can be easily remedied with these 3 surgeries. Of course, there's a risk of complication, but they aren't giving this a bad prognosis. And so I think that hopefully everything will go right and the intended parents will get it right. And if not, then the people who are able to intervene will intervene on the behalf, right? So now moving on, we're going to the circus, okay? So you all know I came to you guys earlier this morning, right? And I was telling you guys that it blew up between Chrisean and Blueface last night, right? They met. He went out with Nevaeh earlier in the day. He ends up with Chrisean in the evening. They showed them in the mall. They go to Burberry. They purchase outfits, matching out. They were supposed to be matching outfits, but I don't even think they really matched. But outside of, you know, the Burberry print being on the outfits, but it wasn't really like matching, right? But the goal was that they were supposed to get matching outfits. They were supposed to get Junior outfit that was matching, and then they are going to the Dodgers game, I believe, right? They went to the Dodgers game. And so there was some hiccups between the two of them, some awkward interactions between the two of them as all of this build up. But then they end up going to eat at a restaurant, and then that's when the whole thing explodes. And so each of them have a different reason for why they say it exploded. And Blueface is saying it exploded because Chrisean was being too aggressive the entire night. Chrisean says it exploded because she refused to want to do a 24-hour stream. Now, the issue with this whole thing is that this is the weekend of Blueface and Nevaeh's baby shower. And so the idea that he would leave home, propose a 24-hour stream, that means you're going to at least be with Chrisean into Saturday. And the baby shower is Sunday. Now, you know, I did a live with Pep over on her channel, and we predicted that this was going to happen, that he had every intentions to leave home last night and possibly not come back until Sunday. Maybe not come back until Monday. Maybe he was going to skip the baby shower altogether in order to generate content and get the subscribers really clinched on to the circus, right? We don't know what the plan originally was, but somehow something happened and the plan exploded. And it exploded because Chrisean did not want to do the 24-hour stream that he wanted her to do. Now, I believe that is the real reason why. Because Blueface then began to talk about things about numbers. She didn't generate him enough numbers for the couple of hours that they had been with each other. And so basically saying like, and I hate to say it like this, but basically doing the Ike Turner, like, bitch, you got more work to do. So you won't be on here for 24 hours. But of course he comes up with other things so that he can gaslight about what the real issue is. But ultimately, I do believe that the real true issue was about her not wanting to do the 24-hour stream. And so we are about to watch Blueface and Chrisean exposing each other like they always do across this internet. And let me get that up. Okay. So this is coming from Cam's TV. Both of the videos two of the videos we're going to watch is going to come from Cam's TV. So let's watch this. They've left the restaurant already, and Blueface is in his car. He's supposed to be on his way back home with Nevaeh, but he's supposed to be back on his way home with Nevaeh, but he doesn't. He doesn't go home with Nevaeh, right? He ends up having to drop something back off to Chrisean. And then we're going to see in this live what his intentions were when he did go drop that off to her. He was still open to going upstairs with her, even after they had this argument in the restaurant. But because of her response, when he got there with the things that she had in the car that he was supposed to give back to her, he decided to speed off and then go home to Nevaeh. But let's watch first their conversation while he's in the car on his way wherever he's going at this point, because I don't know if he's going home or if he was on his way to go home, but then she called and then he needed to take the stuff to her. So let's pick
Truth will help me. Good. Oh my God. Hello?
Why are you so hurt?
Huh?
Why are you so hurt?
Because you don't listen.
You're listening to a clown think like you.
Okay. So go live on Kick then. Go live on Kick from your phone.
I can't even go live because you did that. Like, what the fuck I'm telling you? I can't even go live, my nigga. The fuck I logged in. You can't even go live because you did that. Like, what the fuck I'm telling you? I can't even go live, my nigga. The fuck y'all logged in on my can't go live. You being weird as you trying to be funny.
We blocking you from going live.
You is a
We blocking you from going live.
I cannot go live because of you.
Because of me.
Yes, it says offline. It won't click over.
You want to listen? Can I put you on game? Can I help you? You want me to help you?
You can't help.
Okay.
You need to grow the up. What are you hurting about in real time? Like real shit, bro.
My bad, my
I
nigga.
don't want to stream 24 hours. You make it about Trey songs.
My bad, my nigga.
Trey songs. Now, you mentioning other things because you're mad about me not streaming 24 hours. What's up?
My bad, my nigga.
Like, you're childish as fuck.
You right.
Nigga, I can't even go live.
You right.
Like, that's fucked up.
My bad, my
I can't
nigga.
even go live.
You right.
This shit bad. You're weird as fuck.
It's my fault you can't go live.
Get another bottle. It's going to get another bottle. Bitch, it's 12:33 a.m. My nigga, stop playing, bro. You've been on some goofy shit, bro. You're weird as fuck. You're like weird as fuck. You don't get your way. You don't get your way. I put boundaries down. I put boundaries down. I put boundaries down. And you get to crossing me like.
You put boundaries down? What boundaries?
Yes, you want somebody to
What boundaries?
like some God. You're not a
What boundaries you put down?
You're not fucking. You're not.
What boundaries did you put down?
What do you mean? I don't want to stream for 24 hours. What was the problem with me saying that? What was the problem?
And you're still not streaming for 24 hours.
You're trying to play another skit. Like, you trying to, like, oh, scared. You sound
Right. I ain't call you a dumb. I ain't call you a dumb bitch in front of your brother. I didn't call you a dumb brother.
No, because you would have been down with.
So I didn't tell your brother this is a dumb.
Nigga, and I ain't tell you you a gay ass nigga.
So did I say it or not? Did I say it or not? Did I say it or not? Did I say it or not?
You like to get your ass ate or what?
Thank you for proving that I said it.
Okay, no, you're. Tell me what you like.
What do I
You
like?
have fetishes, bro. You're overly sexualized. Bro, women abuser. I put boundaries down. You geek it, bitch.
What boundaries?
You said, bitch, you are a.
Name the boundary.
Because I didn't want to stream for 24 hours.
That's the boundary you put?
Bitch. Nigga, I didn't want to stream that long.
Okay,
And then you made it into like a whole segment.
But you're about to load up your stream, right? But you're about to load up your stream, right? You're trying to stream right now, right?
Having my login and don't have nothing to do with me streaming right now.
You just said you're trying to stream right now.
I'm telling you.
You just said you're trying to stream right now, and it's not letting you.
Bro, you're just it's fucked. You need to find yourself, my nigga. Real shit. You eating too much little soup, my nigga. You don't identify well at all with yourself, my nigga. You're trying to project and all that, my nigga. You can't do that with me. I'm not the old Chrisean, my nigga. You're weird as
My bad, man.
You're trying to carry a bitch. No, you're trying to carry a bitch. Like I won't beat the fuck out of you.
I thought you wasn't a bitch.
You are a bitch.
I thought you wasn't a bitch.
And I will beat the fuck out you like you a bitch, nigga. The fuck are you talking about?
All right, my nigga.
You
My
are
bad.
a pussy, nigga.
Damn, my
you
nigga.
are a pussy, nigga.
Damn, my nigga.
Fuck? It's not my nigga. Weird.
Yeah,
you know,
my
I
nigga.
can't even go live. You think she's funny.
I thought you wasn't 24 hours trying to.
You're weird as. You're hurt because I don't want to stream 24 hours.
I thought, but you trying to stream right now, ain't
Tell
you?
them how you like your ass, nigga. You like that shit cracked open. You're gay.
So you eating my ass now? You eat ass now?
No, you're
So
weird.
I like my ass. So
You're weird, bro. You're weird. Oh, God, and you keep acting like. What are you talking
I
about?
don't want no smoke with you.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't.
What are you talking about? You don't want no smoke.
Ooh.
Cause you get
Ooh.
serious. You be with drunk.
You be.
No,
You be getting.
you be ratting on your tongue.
You be getting.
You be ratting there on your tongue.
What does that mean?
Blue, tell them how many bodies you got. What are you talking about? Schoolyard crib.
What does
How
that
many
mean?
bodies you got?
How many bodies you got?
How many bodies? You know
How many
I don't
bodies
got
you
no
got?
bodies. You know I don't got no bodies.
Oh, you gonna me first?
Bro.
Hold on, another is calling me right now. Hold on. Hey, what's up?
Hey,
What's the deal?
where you at?
driving right now. I'm on live stream though. Where you at?
You what?
I'm on live stream right now though. Where you at?
Okay, so remember earlier this morning when we were on live, and I said that he cut it off because somebody else called. So I don't know if that was somebody else that he's involved with, that he doesn't stream with, some mysterious person, some person that already exists in the circus or what, but he cut it out, right? And so that kind of ended the conversation that was happening. But you see how volatile the conversation was. Chrisean made several threats towards him. He made several allegations at her, things that he has already said in the past, which is what made me wonder, like, if you really think these things about her, why do you continue to put yourself and the other people around you with her if you think she did these things? But she makes allegations that he's done crimes that have unalived people as well. He doesn't dispute that. He focuses on what she's saying. He does not dispute that he did not do that, right? So I found that interesting as well. But now he's home, and now Nevaeh is about to come in. Maybe we'll be able to watch. Maybe we only need these 2 videos because maybe we'll get everything. I didn't realize that there was more to that. I thought we were only going to get the interaction between him and Chrisean. So let's continue to watch.
What's up, chat? Who do you? Holler if you can hear me. Are we good, chat? Can you hear me? Hey, number 3. Number 3. Anyways, chat. What's happening out there? It gets to a point where you guys gotta understand when females get upset, they'll say anything at this point. Like, oh, tell them how you like to get your ass ate. So you eat ass? No. So how am I getting what? What the fuck are you talking about? Tell them how many bodies you got. How many bodies I got? How many bodies you got? None. I'm gonna get you though. I'm gonna you. No. So you get no. I'm gonna be the first. No. Like, what are you talking about? You're slow, okay? What the fuck? Shout out to Marina RT2 for the sub. Chat, I don't think you understand. I've been in prison with grown men locked in a cell. Nigga. I'm not scared of no. Lock me in a cell with a big crib. It's a no-brainer. Who's gonna come out breathing? What the fuck? I'm not no square regular. Finna take your threats.
That ain't what Jaden said, but okay.
Schoolyard crib. It's 101 Dalmatian. Anyways, enough about that hoe. Child, I'm gonna give you the prediction for this hoe in her weekend. She's gonna go do an interview tomorrow. She's gonna say a bunch of dumb, spiteful, disrespectful, right? Then she's probably gonna stream with some and try to make it like I give a fuck. And then she's gonna go back home and say I chased her around and try to hang out with her, and that's how I ended up hanging out. This shit's getting too predictable at this point.
Now, mind you, in the car, he's giving this narrative of what he's saying she's going to do, right? But in the car, he has said, I'll probably end up back with her tomorrow or Sunday, but right now she's tripping. Like, basically, that's what he said. Not verbatim, but basically, right? And so while he's saying what her narrative is going to be and how she's going to spin this, he already in the car admitted that he plans to give her opportunity to meet back up with her again. To me, that's an invitation.
In that order. That's exactly what she's gonna do, in that order. Go do an interview tomorrow, talk crazy, link up with another stream, make it look like I'm supposed to give a fuck. Then she's gonna go home and say I'm mad because she's streaming with the next and this and that. What the fuck? This is getting too predictable at this point. Dead homies. She gonna go on Jason Lee and say everything she just said. She gonna go on Jason Lee and say it. Oh, he likes to get his butt licked and he has a little and his girl does voodoo and she's evil and he's a blood-sucking vampire energy. Like, oh my God. And I only came out there to do this interview and he forced me to hang out with him and hunted me down and
wait a minute. I only came out there to do this interview with him. So I missed that part. And who is him? Because she's saying that this is what she's going to be saying in the interview. Blueface is saying that Chrisean is going to be in the interview saying these things. So it's already assumed that she's going to be talking to Jason Lee because that's who she has the interview with. So when Blueface says I came out here to do this interview with him, who is him? Was Blueface planning to do this interview with Jason with her? And if so, how are you doing an interview with someone else on the eve of the other person's baby shower? And this just goes to show you, like, in the live that me and Pat did, we discussed the fact that he doesn't take this girl anywhere. Like, why wouldn't you be using this weekend as opportune time for you to utilize your friendship with Jason Lee to do an interview with you and Nevaeh? But instead, you planning to show up and do an interview with you and Chrisean? But this could also be a play, you guys. Maybe there is going to be an interview with him and Nevaeh, and then Chrisean is going to, and maybe this is all part of the script, all part of the controversy. But to me, it would seem everyone else, well, not everyone else. He has been on Jason Lee's couch with Chrisean. He has been on Jason Lee's couch with Jaden. Why hasn't he yet? He's done a single interview with Jason Lee since he has been out of jail, right? Well, out of prison. But he has yet to take Nevaeh to that couch. Why would you decide? I'm not saying for sure that's what's being said, but that's what it seems like he's saying. That he somehow was going to be a part of this interview that Chrisean was going to be doing with Jason on the weekend of the other baby mama's baby shower. Like, why wouldn't you use this as an opportunity to premiere her on Hollywood Unlocked? You have a great interview. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. But it sounded like he was going to show up at that interview with Chrisean.
I hear you, baby. Yes, I do. I hear you over there. Still good. Because I've been living with you long enough.
You only heard my slides.
I hear you over there eavesdropping.
Oh, Chad.
Yeah, she thinking it's funny right now. Just wait.
I need some moisturizer on my face.
No. Sit your ass down. Because you seem to think I only treat you how I treat you.
Can I put some moisturizer on my face?
No, I treat dumb bitch. Still no, don't do that.
He mad.
Go back to doing what you was doing.
What you mean? Like sitting there listening?
No.
He is mad, and I don't think because everybody had already predicted, like, okay, when he goes in the house, he's going to try to be super sweet to her. She's going to try to act super sweet because now they want to both take this opportunity to agitate Chrisean. But that's not what's going to happen. He seems somewhat agitated that she thinks that there's some humor in what just took place. I don't know. This is not what people thought was going to happen or predicted what was going to happen.
Texting my phone. Oh my God, you're so nice to her. You do this, you do that. This bitch got one wrong move, and I'm finna treat her the same way.
I mean, of course I'm gonna feel some type of way.
Why would you feel some type of way?
Our baby shower Sunday, and I'm watching you cater to somebody else.
Okay.
So, you know, I mean, I'm gonna express how I feel. I'm human, and I'm gonna continue to be human. So, and when somebody cares, they express how they feel. I think that's pretty human nature, right?
No, not if somebody told you, yeah, I'm finna go be with this bitch.
And
shout out to Liz DeSummer for the.
So look, he's revealing that he told her he was going with Chrisean. Like, this wasn't no pop-up, no surprise. I mean, it's no surprise that he's going to leave out and go be with someone else anyway. But earlier in the day, he had basically said, oh, no, she's not coming to California to spend no time with me. She's not coming here because she have anything to do with me. But now he's sitting here saying, well, I already told you I was about to go spend some time with the BITCH. Right? So now he's revealing that. So while everybody thought he was about to go into their house and he was going to try to play this part in order to agitate Chrisean even more, this is not the response that people thought they were going to get.
If I gifted, that's when you adjust yourself and realize
and
that.
I charge it to the game. I'm aware.
Exactly. Did I tell you I was going to go be with this?
Charging that shit to the game.
Did I tell you I was going to go be with this?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
So
all of that you just said is
no, I texted it, and you're just trying to expose that now. I don't think that
expose what?
Me texting you how I felt. I'm seeing everything that's going on, but I mean, I didn't know that was. You tell me you don't do plans, and it seemed like it was pretty planned out.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's stupid. I tell you I don't do plans, and you're gonna tell me some shit planned out.
Well,
just watch me take the bit of the story. Watch us do all the shit in the spare of the moment. Where the fuck did the plan come from?
I like your outfit.
Come on.
I like your outfit.
Baby,
She's saying that, and she's mad and she's pissed because he went into the store to get outfits with the intentions on matching with Chrisean, or matching with Junior, and so that's why she's pointing that out about I like your outfit.
The truth. Sorry, I'm the truth. Good crib, like get over it.
What are you talking about? You need to get over yourself.
Nothing I've ever told you.
I just complimented your outfit. I don't
Man,
think
fuck,
I came in here to,
no, you're being funny.
I don't think I came in here to argue with anybody. I don't think I came in here to argue with you. Honestly, I'm out of it. I don't have the energy. The only energy I have is to push out a baby. That's all I want to do. So
you have a lot of energy over text.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing nothing but sitting down and texting.
Okay, talk that shit now.
I don't feel like our life should just be all over it. I mean, you already done put our life all over it, but I just feel like it's not meant.
So she's saying she don't feel like her life should be all over. Now we know any other time she would be vocalizing what she sent by text. She would be saying it. The reason that I think she's trying to keep it down right here at this moment, number one, she didn't expect him to come back in with this type of attitude. She expected him to come back in and be going at Chrisean and her being able to be there and have this enjoyable moment, right, while he's doing that. But instead, now it seems like it's turning towards her. And the main thing is her mother is in the house right now. Now, Blueface, when I went live, they called the mother and asked the mother, was she coming in town for the baby shower? I honestly think the mother really didn't want to come, didn't have no intentions. It seemed like on the phone call, she was trying to avoid it and really didn't want to come. But Nevaeh kept insisting, and almost to the point where I think that if the mother would have said, nah, I'm just not coming, Nevaeh would have been in tears. And so I think the mother decided that she was going to grit, bear, suck it in, and then come. And so Blueface paid for those arrangements. As a result, she's upstairs in the house. So I believe that's why Nevaeh is trying to keep the noise at a minimum. She's not trying to discuss a whole bunch of this because she doesn't want a scene to become out of control that involves her mother. But there is about to be some interaction in some scene that involves her mother.
Be expressing it to the whole world. I mean, they're pretty aware. They know what's going on. So, I mean, I've seen what they've seen today. I've seen the clips, but I enjoyed my day. I had a good dinner with my people, and
where's your mom?
She's upstairs.
So let her come down.
She's laying down.
She's not sleeping. Probably come down.
Oh no, she is.
She's not asleep.
Do you not know what time it is? My mom's old. She's not old, but she's older.
Why you didn't say she was sleeping? She was laying down.
laying down is like sleeping, basically.
So if I go up there, she's gonna be asleep.
Would you like to go up there?
Now, this is the thing. So he's telling her to go get her mom, tell her mom to come down there. Now, the mom has already been on social media earlier in the week because she was receiving a lot of flack and slack from the public that views this content, that they don't like, why aren't you doing something to try to get your daughter out of the situation? And so the mother came forward and made some statements basically saying, like, listen, I don't want her there. She wants to stay there. She's grown. I can't do anything to make her leave there, right? So automatically, that's probably something that Blueface doesn't like. And he probably is looking at this now as an opportunity to have some type of confrontation with her. Because also, while the mother was vocalizing that, how she felt about those things, she also said she doesn't come online. She doesn't discuss what's going on with her daughter's relationship and situations. She doesn't come online sharing her life because her life is not up to being exposed to everyone. She doesn't feel like the need that she has to make her life open and available to people because this is what her daughter chooses to do. And so it is almost kind of, in a way, disrespectful that Blueface is even asking her to go get her mother and have her mother come down there while he just came out from being with a whole nother woman. He's in the midst of having an argument with her about her intentions or what she has going on or how she feels about the situation, and then wants her mother to come down. Why? So you're going to force her mother to do content that her mother doesn't want to do? Right? And I know a lot of people feel like, oh, well, that's the mother's fault because she went to the house or whatever. She is there trying to support her daughter. Even though, and I'm not, listen, I wouldn't be able to go into this situation. I wouldn't. I understand when Jaden said her people weren't coming around because of the foolishness Jaden was putting up with, and they didn't want to be around Blueface. And then when this whole thing blew up, and that's why she decided not to invite him to the birthday party she was throwing, that would be the sentiment of a lot of people's family once their relative comes to some sense in a situation. But right now, Nevaeh is still in a situation. She doesn't really have anybody in California. And so her mother may have been looking for a need, or say, okay, let me just go and try to see if I can at least talk some sense into my daughter, if I can go and try to at least check on her well-being, check on my grandson. Like, that might be what the mother decided to do. But that might not have been the best thing to do because this is like about to blow up.
Yes, because when I was just looked at her, she was
do a confession. I'll be right back.
Listen to him. Look at how aggressive he is.
If she's not asleep,
can you get my purse?
You're a liar.
Well, I just seen her sleep. Bodine seen her sleep. So I don't care. Chat.
Like, she did not get what she wanted. This was not giving what she wanted it. She thought that he was going to come in there and bleed Chrisean all night over this live. Instead, he is taking it out on her, and then he's going to take it out on her mother.
Who's in with this guy? This guy is a mess. It's kind of annoying as fuck. Cringe. But I'm gonna sleep good tonight. I'm not 4 centimeters dilated. I don't know where that came from. That's a lie. I'm comfortable though. I feel good. I had a good doctor's appointment today. Baby shower is Sunday, which is today's already Saturday, so I had a bad heartburn today. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to say to you guys. Was she up?
What do you think?
Was she?
What do you think?
Well, she was sleeping with me and Bodine.
You're just a liar. I keep telling you about that. Stop doing that.
Yes,
and
grandma
so
was
listen.
Okay, she was
So
on
look at
that.
this.
Okay,
So
well,
before
then
you
Why does
say
he
that,
now?
you should
He
just-
knows he's about to go off on her because he has this weird issue with the fact that she told him her mom was asleep, but then the mom wasn't really asleep. So you know you're about to do that, but you come back down with the child and start to go off in front of her with the child there. Like this he is weird. He is weird.
Like, let me go check.
When
Before
I looked at
like,
her, she was laying down.
she's not asleep.
Well, she's not asleep now. Bodine probably woke her the fuck
Okay. Well, to my knowledge, she was never asleep.
up. Okay, that's fine. Because she was slumped in the forehead and
None of that matters to me. She was never asleep.
Do you want to argue about my mom?
No, I want you to be.
I feel like that's what you want to do.
You just made me. Why do I gotta walk upstairs?
Well, you walk and got superior.
I
Why the
sleep
hell?
in the same bed with you. Why can't I trust that you say something that's what it is? I don't gotta walk upstairs and
Are you
check.
trying to argue? Okay, let me call my mom.
I'm trying to.
The woman was just asleep. I'm just so confused.
Man. Girls are so dumb. You guys are so.
Why is this even after his interaction with Chrisean? Why is this what he's choosing to have an argument with her about? It's like he's using this to have another reason to leave back out of the house, like he's staging and setting it up for when he's going to leave back out the house. And then he wants to use the awkwardness that he feels like he experienced with her mother when he went upstairs to justify whatever it is that he has planned to do this weekend that is going to send the internet crazy because he got something up his sleeve.
I'm dumb.
Why do I have to walk all the way upstairs to find out if you're lying or not?
Yeah, he's trying to call me a lot. Weren't you just fucking asleep?
Yeah.
He's trying to. Oh, okay. Bodine came and wake you up. Now he's trying to call me a fucking liar because I said you were asleep.
Bodine just told him that he woke me up. He might not have heard him.
What the and trying to sit here and call me a liar to my face by saying that you were asleep. I guess.
What did I say before I walked out the door?
I'm such in the wrong.
What did I say before I walked out the door?
From what I seen, my mother was asleep, y'all.
What did I say when I walked out the door?
I really don't have time to argue with somebody.
We're not arguing.
No, you are. You're calling me names. Like,
Man, you playing games.
Yeah, I love you.
Yeah. What? You just came up here to be annoying. You just came here to be annoying. You just came.
Why
in the
did you
kitchen,
bring him in here?
eavesdropping because they're awake. He saw me. He said, "Pick up me, Jones." What do you mean? Nobody's sleeping.
Are you okay?
No, I'm tired of liars. I'm tired of
Is it
liars.
really that deep?
It's that deep. What?
I didn't know that.
I can't trust you to say one thing.
Oh my God! Hey, Chad. He just got into it with somebody, and he comes back and projects that on me. And I'm starting to see this. Okay, I clearly just came in here with just
Here comes
chilling.
manipulation.
I just came in here chilling. You're trying to manipulate me though. I came in here just chilling. I got you a burger from In-N-Out.
You didn't come in here just chilling. I had to hear you eavesdropping in the next room.
Yeah, and I didn't want to interrupt your confession.
And then when you came in here, I asked you a question. You sounded so sure. And when I walked out the room, I said, if she's awake, you're a liar.
Okay, Jonathan.
I warned you.
I don't.
What the?
I don't know where you're trying
What
to get
the
at
fuck?
with this. I really don't know where you're trying to get at with this.
Whatever. That's my last time believing anything you said. Because I told you about this in the bed yesterday.
Sleep.
I literally
Whatever.
told
Okay,
you.
hey, Chad.
You should have went up there.
My mom, when I looked at my mom, her eyes were.
Should have went up there and checked.
And I brought my ass downstairs to see what the fuck he was doing. That's about it, okay? I heard everybody was in the house, okay? Brought my ass downstairs, sat right there, did not interrupt his confession, and was about to turn my ass around and go back upstairs. And he said, I know that's me. I brought my ass. Oh my God. Like, shit.
Gummy bear. Gummy bear.
So you guys, so that was that, but I think it was some more because I think Nevaeh did end up calling her mom back, and when she called her back, that's when he was calling her mom a liar, all of this stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how events are going to unfold today, as this situation warms up and thickens up. He on this side, this is in this one part right here that I played, it omitted him threatening her that he's going to start calling his mom and telling her personal things that will embarrass Nevaeh so that his mom can use them on the internet. This is what he threatened her with, all in the middle of him having this big blow up with Chrisean Rock, right? Like, people thought he was going to go to that house and he was going to completely bleed Chrisean, and that was not what happened. But let's take a look at what Chrisean had to say over on her live stream after she left. This is coming from She the Birthday Media. Please go like, share, and subscribe to her channel. We are going to take a look at what Chrisean had to say after she left and had this explosion with Blueface.
None of my business. He like, oh, I spent $10,000 today on you. Da 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 da. That don't mean I'm obligated to stream with you 24 hours. Like what? Then he try like, oh, pump fake, disrespect me. Like he want the old Rock to come out. Bro, I'm a pro boxer. Like anything I do right now is not a good look. Even hanging out with you at the Dodgers game is not a good look. Then it's crazy because he thinking like, I want to be with him, like up under him. And no, I don't. I really don't have my own life. He like, da da da. I'm like, bro, I got my own, like what? I got a car. Like I want to enjoy myself. I want to go, you feel me? Like I want to do me for real. Like you go do you this weekend. I do me this weekend. That's it. But he hurt for real, and that just blow me a little bit because it's like, dang, like he's not mature at all. Then he be trying to bleed somebody. What? What are you talking about? You like your butt cracked open and ate. Like, what are you talking about? You are a different type of nigga. Then you be trying to play these roles like you like superior or something. Like, yo, you just Jonathan, bro. Like, what? Like, I'm like, if I keep it a buck, I keep it a whole buck. Bro, I'm telling you, he mad because I don't want to get with his program. There's no program, bro. Like, we're gonna have our fun. You can leave. We'll have our fun. You pull off. Okay, you like, oh, I spent $10,000. I don't feel it. What do you mean? You want me to suck your toes or something? No. Like what? What are you talking about? Then you over here keep talking. Stop talking. Then you keep saying, oh, you a bitch. You won't really say that in my face. Oh, I did. Bro, I really beat you up. Like, I really beat you up. I beat all y'all up. What are you talking about? I beat you, your mother, your sister up. Lined it up. Like, I
told you.
Up in
She said she beat them all up.
Prove myself again. Like, what I look like. And then it's like, okay, you da-da-da. What am I supposed to feel like? Am I supposed to feel like, Chat, I don't like he try to make me feel like I'm supposed to feel some type of way about this situation. I don't feel no type of way. I love you. Goodbye. You feel what I'm saying? That's all I want. Then it's like, oh, yeah, I got your wallet. I'm gonna drop it off. You want me to drop it off to the desk? Or I said, no, I don't know these people. Like, you could just drop it off to me. You know he could have dropped it off to the desk. He just wanted to see my face. He just wanted to get clips. Like, he's so infatuated with the clips and his storyline. Like, I could tell money is the root of all evil because he's making like probably like $40K a week off of just live streaming, right? But that do something to a nigga like, oh yeah, so we going da-da-da. Bro, me hanging out with you, I didn't even want to stream nothing. I lie to you now, I knew God was on my side because when we got to the Dodgers game, they like, you can't come in there with the camera. I'm praising God. Like, I did not want no camera on me. Okay, we went shopping. He had the camera. I did not want no camera on me for real. I don't want to stream our personal life for real. You already personally doing shit with other females. What I look like? You feel me? So he trying to make me look a certain way. Okay. I'm just going with it because, you know, I love you for real. It's not going to hurt me for real. But then when he get the tripping and stuff, like I'm supposed to trip back. I'm not finna trip. Like, let me get back into my freaking kick. Like, let me go stream. Let me make my money. Why am I logged out? It say offline. Then he mad because he like,
oh, but you can stream with other streamers, but you don't want to stream with me. I don't stream with niggas 24 hours. I don't. Oh, like, bro.
And look, a key indication to which she is saying that it's some validity is because when he had that stream going on all of that time, remember she was asleep last week? He was like, oh, she's going to be pissed when she finds out this been on all night. Like, it's clear that she has been telling him she does not want to be on that stream all the time like that. But this is part of her fault too.
We're going to stream our personal life for 24 hours. I don't want to do that. What the heck? Then you keep on trying like, oh yeah, this B card, bro. Tell him how you like stuff. Who's the actual BITCH if that's how you like to be done up? You feel me? Like, I'm just saying. Then what's the crazy part about all this? It's like, who is you trying to really like? Who are you feeling like? This ain't that. Then it's like, all right, cool. He get frustrated, right? This what happened. He get frustrated. I try to get out the camera, chat. Like, I don't really want to be in the camera, but I know he got the keys to the car, some of my stuff in the car. He know I can't really leave the situation because my wallet, it got, my cards and stuff, my ID, all that in there. You feel me? Like, it's in his car. I'm trying to talk to him nice as possible because I need my ID, I need my wallet. He trying to politic, get a clip. Bro, you not really like that in real life, like, for real. Like, then he like, so you gonna do, how many bodies you got? Nigga, you know you killed niggas before. You are a crip. That's why you feel the way you feel.
Listen,
that's
and
why
she
you
said
so
this
dark
to him
because of how many bodies you really caught.
She said this to him on the phone. He did not deny that he may have done that, but he will go on public platforms accusing her of having done something to this boy. And see, this is the thing. I'm going to tell you, this is why I'm pointing it out. I'm pointing it out because remember last night when I was talking with Pat, I pointed this out, and I also pointed it out back on another live we did before. He, just like his mother keeps talking about, she had some speculation on whether Chrisean had something to do with Ronnie Karan being unalived, right? And then Watt was out here saying it. Well, I don't believe them. I don't believe nothing that they say. I'm not saying that Chrisean may not have had anything to do with it, but I'm more likely to believe that maybe your son has something to do with it based on how much you keep trying to talk about it. Because it sounds just like Carlissa trying to blame Nevaeh and Sadie for the release of Jaden's expletive tape, right? Right? It sounds exactly like that. Carlissa wants to cast some type of narrative where it looks like Nevaeh went into Blueface's live stream room and she is the one who was responsible for posting that video. When the public, those of us who watch the content, we saw the moment on live when Blueface posted the video. Now, how he got the video, I don't know. Did he get the video because Sadie got a hold of Bravo's phone? She got the video and then sent it to Nevaeh. Nevaeh then sent it to Blueface. I don't know. Did he get the video because Sadie sent it to him directly? I don't know. Did he get it because Bravo sent it directly? I don't know, because Bravo could say he didn't do it, but we don't know it at all with these people, right? No matter how he got it, none of them posted it on his social media. He posted it on his social media, but Carlissa tried to create a narrative and still continues to try to spin it to this day that Nevaeh did that. And like I said, that is a strong accusation to make against someone because that is a crime. So we see an instance where Carlissa is already trying to accuse someone else of committing a crime in order to make it look like her son didn't do it. So are we seeing the same thing when it comes to this issue with Karan, with Ronnie Doe? Are you part of the group of people who continue trying to make it look like Chrisean did it? Because maybe your son had something to do with it? Since you think she had something to do with it, why do you think he didn't have something to do with it too? He was frolicking around with her at the time, and he was going along with whatever they saying now that these paternity test results weren't valid. He was going along with the whole thing. So he had an interest to protect in the situation too. So are you now trying to put it off on her? Because are you aware of the truth of his true implication if you really think that something did occur? Because we know you're not beyond trying to make it look like somebody else did something criminal to make it look like your son didn't. Like I said, she's putting that false narrative onto Nevaeh about releasing Jayden's tape when we know for a fact that Blueface is the one who did it. So she is not beyond being grimy and trying to make something appear like it's somebody else, but it's really her child.
Like, Blueface is a real killer. Like, he be trying to act like this. Oh, no, bro. Like, quit it. Then y'all keep.
So you listen to what she's saying. He's a real unaliver. Now he didn't go on platforms and then suggested the same thing about her, and people take that in stride. But now that she's saying that can give different context to why she said some of the stuff that she says. So now when we look at this is an interface, these are two people who make very strong accusations about each other, but continue to keep each other's company. It is no more insane that she continues to be around him with the things, him denying the child, the other things that he has said about her, than it is for him to be around her saying these things about her. It's insanity on both ends. Like, with the accusations that both of these individuals have hurled at one another, there is no reason why they should want to even be in each other's space at all. But they continue to be. And so it's no more insane for her to be in his space than it is for him to be in hers. Because he's playing, and Wack, I told y'all, Wack did that in that conversation on that Clubhouse channel he got here on YouTube, where he said, like, the things that Blueface is doing back in the day could have really got him hurt. Well, guess what? The things he's doing could get him hurt today. He does not know whether any one of these women might have some bigger plot or scheme to deal with him. And he's taking that risk. He does not care for the sake of content.
Keep playing with me for real, like, cause what? You want me to what? Bro. You keep playing like, oh yeah, so you, bro, I don't care about none of that. Like, you can't keep saying stuff to me like I'm the problem. I'm not the problem. Then you keep trying to play with me like I'm scared of you. I'm not scared of you either. Then you keep acting like you bigger than God. You not God. You not God. You not God. Like, I can't really get what your little side you trying to put on. So as soon as he got frustrated, I tried to de-escalate the situation. Lord knows I wanted to go in his mouth for real. Like, I wanted to really go in his mouth. Like, who is he talking to? But all right, check this out. He got my card. I got the baby. I'm not trying to go to jail. Like, what the heck? I came out here to handle business, go back home, get back in camp, work out. That's it. You feel me? Like, I'm training. I got to fight September 19th. All right, cool. I'm trying to stay focused for it. But it's like, when I put my foot down, I didn't want to stream. It just went left. Like, it just went left. Like, okay, I don't want to stream. Well, you've been cool. Yeah, I've been loving on you all day and, like, you know, kissing up on you and rubbing you and being there for you and loving on you. Like, bro, I love you, bro. Like, but it's like, okay, I drag too, you drag too. Like, you dating, I'm dating too. You messing with other people, I'm messing with other people too. Like, it's mutual. I really don't care what we got going on because it's not really it's not really nothing but a bliss. And then it's like, okay, boom, you try to make me feel like I'm supposed to be feeling like some type of way. Like, I don't feel no type of way about none of that. For real, check. I don't feel nothing about none of that. Like, I don't feel nothing. Like, I'm really numb to everything he is. Like, for real. Then he keep acting like, what? What are you talking about? I don't got nothing to prove. I don't care to really play around with you. Then you keep acting like I'm supposed to be scared of you. I'm not scared of you, bro. I'm not scared of you, bro. I'm not. He played fight. All right, I fake hit him in his mouth. I don't really like playing with niggas. I really don't. Like, I don't really like playing with niggas. I'm not scared of no nigga in this world. No man can put fear in my heart, for real. Then it's like, all right, boom. I'm trying to co-parent, for real. Like, I'm really around him because my son need to know his father, for real. All that extra shit, it because of him. He be wanting to be extra out. I'm like, okay. But as soon as I be like, all right, I'm good off that, it's a problem. Now, oh, you was doing this. You changed the music. Bro, it's never that deep. Yeah, I changed the music. Whoop-de-doo. Like, you could change it back. Like, what? What are you talking about? Like, he just didn't make sense to me. Then it's like, all right, boom. We at the game. He all loveyed up on me. And you know, I'm like, cool. But I'm kikiing. I don't really take none of that. I don't take.
Y'all, at that game, because I seen the picture, y'all. I posted it. At that game, they is all sitting in one seat. Chrisean Jr. sitting on Chrisean lap. Chrisean sitting on Blueface lap. They're crazy, y'all. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Nothing we do serious. Like, for real. I don't. And then it's like, okay, he want me to feel some type of way because he feels some type of way. No. You keep calling me a bitch? How? When you're gay? Like, come on now. Like, the way you act with women is cool. Just come out. Just come out the closet. It's okay to come out and say you're gay. Like, you're gay. You're gay. It's okay. Everybody, like, a lot of people is gay in this world. Like, but he's scared to say it. And the reason why I know he is because our interaction, like, I could go on with what he's into. And I'm like, yo, this man, I think he's gay. Like, then he like, you act like a man. I act like a man to protect myself from a nigga that want to degrade me. I don't want to be degraded. My guard is up. What are you talking about? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, they thinking because you pay the tab, you got to comply with abuse. I don't care about no tab. You shouldn't even pay none of that. What are you talking about? What? I didn't ask for nothing. You did all that to gain control. I'm not stupid. That's a narcissist. What are you saying? Like, what are you saying? Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Then you keep playing with the baby like, oh, like, that's going to hurt. Okay, you're childish. Oh, that's not my baby. You're childish. Oh, you're childish, bro. You're childish, bro. You're really childish, bro. You're really childish, bro. Come on now. Okay. Y'all know that clip when No Jumper was like something his butt, and then Shorty started laughing real loud. Like it resonated. Like, bro, there's some things you keep saying, I'm a bleeder. Bleed. You're gay. Just bleed it. Bleed it that you're gay. Like I don't care. Like, say what you want to say about me. And I'm glad I can't go live for real because whatever I just did, just whatever we just went through was very traumatizing for real. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really want to sleep. I got a whole interview 10 o'clock in the morning with Jason Lee.
I don't even think I can make it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
But that's how like exhausted.
Now she can't make it.
Somebody can really like. Who he was doing all that woo rah stuff. Maryland, I'm gonna tell you, the Maryland justice system, they find murderers. They'll charge you with murder and you ain't even do it. Nigga, I would have already been taken away if I really murdered that man, my nigga. No, y'all keep playing with that narrative and it be just throwing me away a little bit. But then when I say something real, it just went over your head. Then he tried to play calm. I know he was mad. I said that on the phone. Because you're not going to keep calling out my name knowing you're the person who you're calling. What are you talking about? You met your match. You want to keep, da-da-da-da-da. Go ahead. I dare you, bro. I don't care about none of that. Oh, da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Okay. Shit, I don't really care about none of that. But look.
All right, y'all. So that's the end. So that's where we at right now in the circus. We'll see what happens today. Will Chrisean make it to her interview or won't she? She has court Monday. How would all of that unfold? We see there's some tension going on in the house with Nevaeh's mother being at the house this weekend, preparing for her baby shower on Sunday. Will there be some more blow up, backlash between her and Blueface as a result of the argument he started last night? How is that all going to work out? Will Blueface actually really show up to the baby shower? Will it be some drama at the baby shower? Those are all the things we are looking for going on with the circus this weekend. So you guys, thank you guys. Catch this on the replay. Put your questions, comments, suggestions, concerns in the comment section, and I will respond to you, and I will talk to you guys soon. I will come back and reschedule the live so that we can go over the Soft White Underbelly with McKenna, one of the artists from Color Me Bad's daughter, where she's making some very strong allegations. I will reschedule that. I need to leave out to do some things, and maybe I'll do it when I come back, but if not, we'll reconvene to have that conversation tomorrow. Thank you guys for coming in. I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys soon.